Okay, now I would like to explain about DC generator characteristics. The following are the three most important characteristics in DC generator. So first one, open circuit characteristics are also called as magnetization characteristics. So it is the graph between E0 versus IF. So E0 means no load generated EMF. So generated EMF under no load condition is E0. Next IF is field current, the current flowing through the field current. So the graph between E0 versus IF is called open circuit characteristics or OCC or magnetization characteristics. So second one, internal characteristics, the graph between load generated EMF or generated EMF versus armature current is called internal characteristics. Okay, here E is generated EMF at load condition and IA is armature current of the DC generator. So next third one, external characteristics. So these characteristics are also called as load characteristics. It is the graph between load voltage versus load current. Okay, VL versus IL graph. So first one E0 versus IF graph, second one E versus IA graph, third one V versus IL graph. Okay, here E0 is no load generated EMF and E is generated EMF or generated EMF at load condition, and V is the voltage across the load. It is also called as load voltage or terminal voltage. So next this is IF is field current, IA is armature current. So field current means the current supplied to the field winding. So next IA is armature current, the current delivered by the armature is IA. So next IL is load current, the current flowing through the load is called load current. So OCC means graph between E0 versus IF. Internal characteristics means the graph between generated EMF versus armature current. External characteristics means the graph between load voltage and load current. Okay, now we will see the characteristics in each generator. So we know the different types of DC generator, separately excited DC generators, next one self-excited DC generators. Again the self-excited DC generators are divided into three types: series generator, shunt generator, compound generator. The compound generators are again divided into two types based on the magnetic flux direction: cumulatively compound DC generator, differentially compound DC generators. Okay. Okay, first one, separately excited DC generator characteristics. So the open circuit characteristics of separately excited DC generator. Okay, this is the circuit diagram to draw the OCC. So here field winding is connected to separate DC source, or the field winding is excited by the separate DC supply. So it is called a separately excited DC generator. Okay, this is armature, and here across armature and voltmeter is connected. So generally we know that the resistance across the voltmeter is infinity. So the voltmeter connected means, so it is under no load condition. So now the graph between no load generated EMF, the voltmeter reading versus field current. So here one ammeter is connected in series with the field winding. So this measures the current flowing through the field winding. So if you draw the graph between this voltmeter reading E0 versus ammeter reading IF, the graph is called open circuit characteristics. Okay, we know that the generated EMF equation Eg equals to pi Zn by 60 into P by A. Okay, pi Zn by 60 into P by A. Here the pi is magnetic flux. This magnetic flux value depends on field current. The magnetic flux is directly proportional to the field current. Okay, so generally at field current equals to 0, also the electromagnets having some small amount of magnetic flux. This magnetic flux is called residual magnetic flux. So we know that if a conductor rotates in a magnetic field, the conductor cuts the magnetic flux lines. Finally EMF is induced across the armature winding. So at field current 0 case also some small amount of magnetic flux present in the electromagnets. This magnetic flux is called residual magnetic flux. So due to this residual magnetic flux at field current equals to 0 condition also, the armature generates some small amount of voltage. This voltage is called residual voltage. The residual voltage equals to IR. So now we draw the graph between EG versus or E0 versus IF. This is no load generated EMF. E0 versus IF graph. Origin at field current equals to 0. The voltage is residual voltage. Here OA indicates the residual voltage. So next one, so by increasing the field current value, here one rheostat or one variable resistance is connected in series with the field winding. By changing the resistance value, the current flowing through the field winding is changes. So by changing this resistance value, automatically field current also changes. If field current is changes, flux also changes. So by decreasing this field resistance value, the current flowing through the current flowing through the field winding is increases. If IF value increases, field magnetic flux value also increases. If magnetic flux is increases, we know that relation Eg equals to pi Z by 60 into P by A. If pi increases, automatically Eg value also increases. So up to the electromagnet saturation point, the generated EMF value or no load generated EMF value increases linearly with respect to magnetic flux. This is the saturation point. After the saturation point, the generated EMF value approximately constant. So once the saturation point reaches, the magnetic flux produced by the electromagnets are constant. By increasing field current also, the magnetic flux approximately maintains the constant value. So in that case, the generated EMF value also maintains the constant value. So after saturation point, the generated EMF is approximately constant. Okay, this is the open circuit characteristics or magnetization characteristics of separately excited DC generator. So next one, internal characteristics. So internal characteristics means load generated EMF or generated EMF versus armature current graph. So first one, no load generated EMF. So no load generated EMF means at no load condition. If we not connect any load across the armature, the generated voltage across the armature is called no load generated EMF. Here E0 is no load generated EMF. So E0 is generally no load generated EMF is independent of armature current value. You know that E0 equals to formula pi Z by 60 into P by A. The generated EMF value independent of armature current in case of separately excited DC generator. So armature current means at this point the current delivered by the armature is called armature current. This current is independent of E0 or E0 is independent of armature current. So in order to draw the internal characteristics, first we have to draw the E0 versus IA graph. By using E0 versus IA graph, next we can draw the graph between E versus IA. So first one, E0 versus IA. E0 is independent of armature current, so it is a straight line. It is a straight line. So E0 is independent of armature current. So next one, under load condition, if we connect a load across this armature, in that case the voltage across the armature is called load generated EMF or generated EMF. It is represented by Eg or E. So E equals to E0 minus armature reaction drop. This armature reaction is difference between the no load generated EMF and generated EMF. At no load condition, the armature current value is 0, approximately equals to 0. If armature current equals to 0, the armature reaction effect is negligible. In that case, the armature reaction drop value equals to negligible. So Eg value equals to E0. If once armature current increases, this armature reaction drop also increases. So finally, the load generated EMF value decreases with respect to no load generated EMF. The E equals to formula E0 minus armature reaction drop. This armature reaction drop value directly proportional to the armature current. If armature current increases, automatically this armature reaction drop also increases. If this armature reaction drop increases, generated EMF value, E value or Eg value decreases. So by comparing E0 versus IA graph, E0 versus IA graph, we can draw E versus IA graph. So the main difference between E and E0 is armature reaction drop. So by increasing the armature current, the armature reaction drop value increases and this generated EMF value decreases. So graph becomes like this. It deviates from the E0 versus IA graph. This distance is increases by increasing this distance is increases by increasing the armature current. So the difference of these two graphs, first graph and the second graph, is armature reaction drop. The second graph or second curve indicates the internal characteristics. Okay. So next one, external characteristics are load characteristics. So the graph between VL versus IL is called external characteristics or load characteristics. So by using this second curve and by using this internal characteristics, we can draw the external characteristics. So in this case, the voltage equation, load voltage VL equation. So VL equals to load voltage, it equals to generated EMF minus armature resistance drop. So VL equals to Eg minus Ia into Ra. VL equals to Eg minus Ia into Ra. And in this case, the current equation. So armature to load. So number of current paths equals to 1. Armature to load, number of current paths equals to 1. So IA value equals to IL. Here current equation IA equals to IL. So by substituting IA equals to IL in this equation, we get VL equals to EG minus IL into RA. So now by using this equation, we can draw the graph between VL versus IL. So here by increasing the load current, so IL into RA value increases. If IL into RA increases, EG minus IL into RA value decreases. Okay. So by increasing the IL value, the VL value decreases from generated EMF values. So by using this second curve, we can draw the VL versus IL graph. This is the reference. So for load characteristics, the second curve is reference curve. So here also we have to draw first two curves. So next one, this third curve. The difference between third curve and the second curve is IL into RA. Armature resistance voltage drop. Okay. If IL value increases, IL into RA value increases. So the difference between second curve and the third curve increases. So the difference between these two graphs is IA into RA drop or IL into RA drop. This third curve is called load characteristics or external characteristics. Okay, next one, self-excited DC generators. First one, series generator. Okay, series generator characteristics. Okay, this is series generator. Here armature winding. Here G is armature winding connected in series with field winding. This is load. So generated EMF equals to EG RE, armature current equals to IA, field current equals to ISC, load current IL, and load voltage equals to VL. So we know that in this case the voltage equation VL equals to EG minus IA into RA minus ISC into RSC, or VL equals to EG minus IA into RA plus RSC. So why? Because here IA equals to ISC equals to IL. So EG minus IA into RA plus RSC. Current equation IA equals to ISC equals to IL. So first one, open circuit characteristics are magnetization characteristics. The graph between E0 versus IF. Okay, it is E0 versus IF graph. So we know that EG equals to pi Zn by 60 into P by A. Here pi is magnetic flux value. So E0 is directly proportional to pi directly proportional to IF. So it field current equals to 0. The electromagnets having small magnetic flux. A flux is called residual magnetic flux. Due to this residual magnetic flux, small voltage is generated in armature winding. This voltage is called residual voltage here. In this graph, the OA represents the residual voltage. At field current equals to 0 also, small voltage generated in generators. This voltage is called residual voltage. So next one, by increasing the field current value. So if field current increases, automatically magnetic flux increases. The generated EMF value also increases. So up to point B. Here point B is saturation point. Up to point B, the generated EMF increases linearly. So after the saturation point, the magnetic flux produced by the electromagnets are constant. So the generated voltage produced by the armature also constant. After this saturation point, the generated voltage becomes approximately constant. So next one, internal characteristics. Okay. So in open circuit characteristics, here not E, this is EG formula and it is E0. Okay. Or directly we can note this one is E0 value. Can no load generated EMF. Here also E0. In all graphs, OCC graphs, I write EG. It is not EG, it is E0. Can no load generated EMF. Please change that one. So next one, internal characteristics. The internal characteristics means the graph between E versus IA. Here E is generated EMF at load condition. So E0 means generated EMF at no load condition. Okay, we know that the difference between no load generated EMF and load generated EMF, EG or E, both are same, but E0 and EG are different. So EG equals to E0 minus armature reaction drop. This armature reaction drop value depends on armature current value. If armature current increases, the armature reaction drop also increases. So first to draw the graph between E versus IA, we have to draw the graph between E0 versus IA. Okay. So in case of series generator, the current equations. So E0 versus IF means here IF is field current is ISC. So here IA equals to ISC. So E0 versus IA graph, first we have to draw in order to draw the E versus IA graph. Okay, so E naught versus IA graph means E naught versus IF graph. So why? Because here IA equals to IF. So first one, this is the E naught versus IF graph, or it is E naught versus IA. So why? Because here IF equals to IA. So first one, E naught versus IF graph or E naught versus IA graph. In case of series generator, all currents are same. So next one, E versus IA graph. So the difference between E and E naught is armature reaction drop. So by increasing this armature current value, armature reaction drop increases. So the E versus IA graph deviates from E naught versus IA graph. Okay, this distance is increases. By increasing armature current value, the difference of these two graphs is increases. Here we are increasing armature current from 0 to value, 0 to its rated current. Okay, so finally here the second curve is internal characteristics, the graph between E versus IA. So in any case, first we have to draw E naught versus IA graph to draw E versus IA graph. So first it is E naught versus IA, this is reference one. So by using this reference curve, we can draw E versus IA graph. So next one, external characteristics. Okay, VL versus IL graph. Okay, we know that VL, in case of series generator, the voltage equation VL equals to EG minus IA into RA plus RAC. This one EG or E, or VL equals to EG minus, here IA equals to IL in series generator, so minus IL into RA plus RAC. Okay, so by using this E versus IA graph, we can draw VL versus IL graph. Okay, so here VL equals to EG minus IL into RA plus RAC. EG, RE both are same. So by using this E versus IA reference graph, we can draw this VL versus IL. The difference between VL and EG is IL into RA plus RAC. Here IL value equals to IA. All currents are same. IA equals to IF equals to IL. So by increasing load current value, the IL into RA plus RAC value increases. If this one increases, automatically VL value decreases with respect to EG. So by increasing armature current value or load current value, the third graph, we get this third graph. The main difference between second graph and third graph is IL into RA plus RAC drop. This is total voltage drop of armature and field winding. Okay, this is the series generator. Okay, these are the series generator characteristics. Okay, next one, shunt generator. Okay, this is the shunt generator circuit diagram at load condition. So the characteristics of shunt DC generator and separately excited DC generator are same. Only circuit diagrams are different. Remaining total graphs and explanation are same. Okay, we can directly draw the separately excited DC generator characteristics. So next one, compound DC generator. Okay, the compound DC generators are divided into two types based on the magnetic flux direction. Okay, we know that the compound generators are having three windings: armature winding, series field winding, and shunt field winding. So it produces the two main magnetic fluxes: series field winding magnetic flux and shunt field winding magnetic flux. The series field winding, shunt field winding magnetic fluxes magnitude values and directions depends on the currents magnitude values and current directions. So by changing the series field winding current, shunt field winding current's direction, we can change the direction of the series field winding magnetic flux and shunt field winding magnetic flux. So if the resultant flux equals to pi SC plus pi SH. Okay, if the resultant magnetic flux equals to pi SC plus pi SH, this generator is called cumulatively compound DC generator. If the resultant magnetic flux pi equals to pi SH minus pi SC, it means both magnetic flux's direction are in opposite direction. In that case, the resultant magnetic flux equals to pi SH minus pi SC. So this type of generator is called differentially compound DC generator. Again, these cumulatively compound DC generators are divided into two types. So based on the magnetic flux magnitude value, it depends on the number of turns of the field winding. So first one, under compound generator, second one, level compound or flat compound generator, third one, over compound generator. Okay, the compound generators mainly divided into two types based on the magnetic flux direction, cumulative and differential. Cumulative case resultant in magnetic flux, differential case resultant in magnetic flux. Again, these cumulatively compound DC generators are divided into three types based on the number of turns of the field winding. So under compound, next level compound, next one over compound. Okay, now we will see the characteristics of compound generator. So first one, over compound. Okay, these are the load characteristics of compound generator. So first one, over compound. Okay, so over compound generator VL versus IL graph. So over compounded compound generator means, so generally at full load condition, the rated voltage is called full load terminal voltage. Full load terminal voltage. The generator terminal voltage at full load condition is greater than the full load terminal voltage. Okay, this is the full load terminal voltage value. This is rated value. If the generator terminal voltage value at full load condition is greater than this rated voltage value, the generator is called over compounded compound generator. Okay, over compounded generator. So next one, flat compound means, in case of flat compound generator, the terminal voltage at full load condition is equals to the full load terminal voltage or rated voltage. Okay, this is the rated voltage at full load condition. If these two voltages are equal, the generator is called flat compounded generator. So next to under compound generator case, the generator full load terminal voltage is less than the rated voltage at full load condition. Okay, rated voltage at full load condition. So this generator is called under compounded generator. Okay, here the generator load voltage value is greater than the full load rated voltage value. Here both are equal, and here the generator terminal voltage value is less than the full load terminal voltage value or full load rated voltage value. Okay, these are the graphs between VL versus IL for cumulatively compound DC generator. Okay, next one, differentially compound DC generator. Okay, the differentially compound DC generator graph become like this approximately. So in case of differentially compound DC generators, so by increasing the load current, the terminal voltage value decreases suddenly. Okay, like this. Okay, this is the differentially compound DC generator load characteristics.